On this week's episode of BJ in the Morning, we're going to be talking about 10 comic book movies not made by Marvel or DC. Let's go. Welcome to BJ in the Morning, your favorite dirty name podcast with even dirtier takes on movies, TV, and pop culture. My name's Brendan.
And I'm Juan.
And we're back at it again.
Back at it again with the white vans.
I was going to say talking about comic book movies because that seems to be the streak we're going on right now.
Comic book movies. Well, comic book movies are hot right now.
I think we are seeing the end of like a fatigue, and I think Superman really like kind of set the bar pretty high for superhero movies.
Sure,
but there's been a lot of movies out that are based on comic books that some people might not know about.
Yeah, like a couple of the movies on our list. I didn't know were based off comic books.
Yeah, and there's movies not on our list that are based on comic books.
There's a lot.
Like, shout out The Addams Family. Not on our list, but based on a comic.
Shout out Popeye.
Popeye. Yeah, how about Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Shout out to... I don't know. I don't remember. Garfield?
Dennis the Menace?
Dennis the Menace?
Those have all been made into movies.
Calvin and Hobbes?
They're not made into a movie. No.
Dang it.
What? Why not?
Why not? What the heck?
I love Calvin and Hobbes.
What are you waiting for?
This episode's going to be about Calvin and Hobbes now.
What are you waiting for, Paramount?
Who would make a better Calvin and Hobbes movie? What studio?
Ugh.
I think you'd have to go with like maybe Sony, honestly.
Sony.
With their... I don't know. That's a tough one. We'd have to really dive into that, but that's not what this episode's about. Maybe that'll be a future episode. You let us know down in the comments down below.
Let us know and let it snow.
Yeah, and while you're at it, if you're liking our episodes and wanna see us get out to more people, drop a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this episode.
Please do,
because we're begging at this point. Not really.
And we love you.
That too. And we'll love you more if you drop a 5-star review on any of your listening apps. Juan,
Brendan,
I think it's time to jump straight into this list. You curated a list. This is your episode, and I'm stealing it from you right now.
It's okay.
But I'm only stealing it in the sense that I have the movies pulled up.
Guess what?
What?
This is our podcast.
Oh, shit.
What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine.
Milady. For those of you listening, that was the daintiest handshake we've ever done with each other. But yeah, I have the movies that we're talking about pulled up, and Juan has the comic books information that those movies are based on.
Information.
Yeah. Inspiration?
Information.
Maybe that's what I was going. Inspiration/informations.
Right.
Information.
So let's jump at it with the IMDb. So we're going in order, no particular order of like our favorite or anything like that. We're talking about the worst rated IMDb comic book movie to, I guess, the best rated.
For our list. For the movies that you pick.
For our list. Yes.
So it's the least liked to the most liked.
To the most liked.
Based on our top 10 list. So let's start with number 10 on the list. Bringing it back all the way to 1997.
1997?
Yeah, you know what movie it is, Juan, because you made the list. We're talking about Spawn.
Worst rated?
Yeah, you're choking up about it. I see that. Yeah, it's got a 5.2 on IMDb.
Which, understandable.
Yeah.
Not the best movie. The movie came out what year? 95?
1997.
7.
It's rated PG-13.
Really bad graphics and CGI. Really bad, I don't want to say storyline, but like, I guess plot.
Yeah.
Like the way it played out. And it's just so like too ahead of its time, I feel like.
Yeah, a lot of the comments here, because I haven't seen this movie since I was a kid, but a lot of comments here say that the score, like the story, the screenplay, is a mess. It's all over the place and it doesn't really make any kind of sense.
Pretty much what I just said.
Yeah, so someone said, I love the smell of burning asphalt in the morning. To be honest, this movie's crap, but it has its charms. Spawn has good makeup and following effects, and the music is good. It could be a guilty pleasure if you have time to waste.
I do. It is a guilty pleasure. I watched it recently.
Yeah, and you enjoyed your time?
I do like the movie.
Yeah.
It's just not, I wouldn't say it's a good movie.
That's okay.
You know? And I do.
People agree.
I do love the character of Spawn, too. Mm-hmm. So, speaking of Spawn, I saw Todd McFarlane at a Comic-Con a few years ago, and he promised us a Spawn movie produced by Blumhouse.
Yeah.
A horror-based Spawn movie.
Which is what it needs.
It's what we need. He promised. So if we don't get it, I swear.
What? You swear what?
Did you hear a knock on the door?
No.
Okay, sorry. I swear. I will go on Twitter and say, give us a Spawn movie.
Twitter doesn't exist anymore.
Hashtag give us Spawn.
Don't look up that hashtag.
Hashtag bless. Hashtag give us Spawn. Hashtag burn my skin. Hashtag chain coming out of my chest.
All right, so tell us a little bit about the Spawn comic books. Where did this idea come from? How old are the comics? And they are not produced by DC or Marvel, right?
Right. So Spawn is a long-running comic book created by Todd McFarlane, produced by Image Comics. And
they're going to come up a couple times, right?
Image Comics?
Yeah.
Image and another one comes up a lot too. But it follows Al Simmons, better known as Spawn, a fictional anti-hero appearing in a monthly comic book of the same name published by Image Comics, as well as a number of films. There is HBO animated series on Spawn. And Spawn first appeared in Spawn #1 in May of 1992. 1992. Fun fact, Todd McFarlane was the artist for Marvel Comics.
An artist.
That's why I said artist.
You said the artist. Like
the
there was
artist.
only one
he
guy
was
drawing.
the artist of Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
For Marvel in the
before
in
that.
the 80s
Before
or
then.
in 1990, yeah, before that. Then he went in separate ways.
Yeah, had some differences.
And created Spawn. The biggest middle finger to Marvel, because Spawn was very successful as a comic book.
Yeah.
And very, very successful as a toy.
Yeah. I could see that. And he kind of looks like a demented Spider-Man.
And he's still, to this day, creating new toys for Spawn, even though there's not a lot of hype on Spawn. And they sell.
Yeah.
They sell.
Yeah, there's a lot of collectors out there.
So, based off 1992 to 1997, I feel like maybe that's not a lot of time to, like, be like, hey, we should make a movie on this.
Yeah, and like CGI was only around for like 4 years at this time. And it still wasn't really widely used. So the movie was definitely hindered by its effects. I think they have a lot of good practical effects. Like, you couldn't even tell that John Leguizamo was in this movie if you didn't know.
Oh, right. So, yeah, the makeup is good, or the practical effects are good. Spawn's suit is phenomenal. Spawn's burnt skin is great.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like... when he's falling to the depths of hell, it looks like a green screen. It looks like
looks like the background, like a screensaver on Windows 95.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
exactly.
I get you. Yeah, and it really pulls you out of the movie.
But with that said,
do you have a cat hair in your mouth? Or
I
a mustache
do.
hair?
Beard hair. Yeah. I do love the movie and the comic book. I was a fan of Spawn since I was a kid. And hashtag bring us Spawn.
Speaking of Spawn, the next movie on our list spawns from the 80s and from the sewers. Juan,
from the sewer.
The next movie we're talking about is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990.
In my opinion, the best Ninja Turtle movie probably ever. But
I really liked TMNT.
The cartoon, the first movie?
Animated movie that came out. I like that one a lot. The new one, though, have you seen it?
No.
It's pretty good.
Is it?
It's pretty good. So we have just the first movie pulled up, but we are really kind of talking about the whole franchise of it all. But we're mostly going to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990. 1990. 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles emerge from the shadows to protect New York City from a gang of criminal ninjas. Yep.
The Foot.
The Foot.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but the fact that it's 1990? 1990.
Yeah.
This movie is ahead of its time, and they use nothing but practical effects.
Because that's all they had.
And how great were those costumes?
They're really awesome, except for that one part where you see the dude's face through the costume.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll show you afterwards. But this one's got a 6.8 on IMDb, so a little bit higher than the last one. Ratings overall, everyone's saying about the same thing. It's like a fun, nostalgic ride at this point. Ninja Turtles, kid stuff, blah, blah, blah. But everyone's got pretty good things to say. It's like, forget the kid-friendly sequels, forget the Michael Bay remakes, forget the CGI experiment. This right here is and still remains the definitive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. This got the vision laid out by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird most accurately. A dark, edgy, tongue-in-cheek parody to Frank Martin's Daredevil and the New Mutants. I'm sure you still had some of the cartoon elements thrown in for good measure, but compare this one to the other movies, and this one followed the closest to the original comic book series.
And that brings us to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the comic book series published by Mirage Studios.
There's a lot of Mirage, Image.
Image, Dark Horse, Mirage. But yeah, conceived by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird.
Shout out Kevin Eastman. We have a chance to meet him in August.
Shout out.
Yeah, at Tucson Comic Con.
It was intended as a one-shot, but due to its popularity, it became an ongoing series. The comic created the Turtles franchise of 5 television series, 7 feature films, numerous video games, and a range of toys and merchandise.
You and I have both been fans of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for a very long time. I remember watching this movie together a lot back when we were youngins. I think you, me, and 2 of our other friends also were just like obsessed with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we would like collect things based on like our personalities matching with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure you. Which one were you?
Raphael.
Yeah, and then I was Donatello.
I was Raph. Yeah, a little too
Our buddy
rough.
Devin was, yeah, a little too rough. Our buddy Devin was Mikey. But yeah, it was a good time. Like we went and saw the first animated one when it came out in theaters. Yeah, it's one of those franchises that really sticks with you, especially if you watch the cartoon as a kid.
And it's very nostalgic, and it's been around for a long time. It will never not be around.
And I even liked both the sequels, even though they were a little more kid-friendly.
I forgot to mention the comic book came out in 1984.
Yeah, so a good head start.
Ran until 2014.
Yeah, so it's done its job. And it's still a staple. I think a lot of kids still know TMNT.
I recently watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like Batman team up movie, and that was good. And I'm like, dude, I'm 33 years old watching TMNT Batman team up cartoon movie.
Yeah.
And loving it.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one on our list.
Okay.
Not specifically a favorite of mine, but we're talking about from 2004, Hellboy.
Hellboy.
A demon raised from infancy after being conjured by and rescued from the Nazis, grows up to become a defender against the forces of darkness. This one, like I said, 2004's got a 6.9 on IMDb.
That's not so bad.
Not so bad. It's a good movie. I do remember watching this. I do remember my mom getting mad at me for saying, I want to see Hellboy when I was, 2004. 2004. But I really liked this movie when I first saw it. Ron Perlman as Hellboy. I thought it was really cool, and it's got really great visuals. I think the visuals are awesome. A lot of practical effects. And honestly, shout out to Doug Jones, who plays Abe Sapien. Mm-hmm. He's one of those like character actors where you've seen him in a ton of things, but you don't know it. So I don't know. I think a lot of the effects are really awesome. It's really dark and gritty for the time. That's all I got to say about the movie.
I do love this movie, and I've had a weird, not really an obsession, but like a weird like love for Hellboy since the movie. Mm-hmm. I want to say we were really young when it came out, 11, 12.
Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as we saw the movie, I got into learning the comics, learning the story, and loving the character. But Hellboy is a superhero created by Mike Mignola, and appearing in a comic book published by Dark Horse Comics. The character first appeared in San Diego Comic-Con Comics #2 in August of 1993.
Oh, man.
And has since appeared in various miniseries, one-shots, and intercompany crossovers. That's really cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, Hellboy is just like this demon-looking character. Refuses to live out his prophecy. He shaves off his freaking horns, and he is, I guess, destined to be a good guy at heart, but still like a real tough guy on the outside.
Yeah. He's a demon,
and he loves cats.
Yeah, weird, but fine.
Is it weird?
You love cats.
I love cats.
Yeah.
But yeah. The movie takes me. The first movie was great. Takes me through a loop every time because I love it. But the second movie, and I think maybe a third,
there was like a reboot
with
David Harbour.
Mm-hmm. That movie was weird.
Yeah, I never watched it.
I was hoping for more, for better. Mm-hmm. But the original Hellboy, go check it out if you haven't seen it.
You know another movie people should check out?
This one kind of threw me for a loop when I found out it was a comic book.
You didn't know?
No.
All right. Bringing it back again to 1994.
Back at it again.
Back in the 90s. This movie, I'm going to give you the synopsis one. Blank. Blank, blank. No, bank clerk Stanley Ipkiss is transformed into a manic superhero when he wears a mysterious mask. That's right. We're talking about The Mask. Bet you didn't know this was a comic. Juan didn't.
Bet you didn't know that.
Bet you didn't know. This one's got a 7.
What year did this movie come out?
94.
1994.
This movie's got a 7 on IMDb. Obviously, Jim Carrey. We got Cameron Diaz in one of her first roles. I think it is her first role. Honestly, this is how you use Jim Carrey. You know what I mean? This movie is Jim Carrey at his most Jim Carrey. Mm-hmm. He gets to do the funny faces and the jokes because at this point in time, especially in the 90s, Jim Carrey was like the embodiment of a cartoon character, and giving him this role, I think really lets him shine as a comic and allows the character of The Mask to shine. So
this movie used a lot of practical effects and
animation
and CGI.
It's got some CG, and honestly, a lot of it looks more like kind of the effects of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of
like a 3D
and
drawing type of thing.
hand drawn. So, but they nail it. It works for the character.
It's good, and the story is cohesive. And the story makes you feel that anxiety of like when he loses the mask, he gets thrown in jail, he's trying to get out, the bad guy has the mask now, and you're like
and the craziest part is this movie is very dark. Like the themes of it, the setting, everything's very dark. And then Jim Carrey's there trying to survive basically when he finds the mask of Loki. And he brings a lot of color and a lot of energy to this world that didn't have it. So I really love this movie. This movie gave me nightmares when I was a kid. My mom tells me all the time that I would sit fine and watch Jurassic Park, but anytime the ad for The Mask came on, I would cry and run into another room. So
The Mask is an American comedy horror comic book series created by Mike Richardson, developed by Doug Mankey and John Arcudi, and published by Dark Horse Comics.
Oh, another Dark Horse.
What year was it? There's they're naming like a whole bunch of different ones. So, an original trilogy of The Mask Returns, and The Mask Strikes Back was published as a limited series from 1991 to 1995.
Dang.
And
they turned that movie around then.
Has since spin off and has since expanded to various spin-offs and other media, including Itty Bitty Mask and the 2019 main series revival I Pledge Allegiance to the Mask.
Oh, that's pretty recent.
2019, huh?
Yeah.
The series is known for its dark tone and graphic violence. I'm gonna go check this comic book out.
I want to see how much of a difference it is.
I didn't know that it was a horror comic book either.
Yeah, I thought it, normal. Horror?
Graphic?
Novels? You know what else is pretty horror focused and kind of graphic? Is the next movie on our list, also from 1994, believe it or not. And that's The Crow.
The Crow.
Not
to be confused with The Crow.
That just came out?
That's from 2025.
No, this is Brandon Lee in his last role as
R.I.P.
The Crow. So the night before his wedding, musician Eric Draven and his fiancée are brutally unalived by members of a violent gang. On the anniversary of their death, Eric rises from the grave and assumes the mantle of the Crow, a supernatural Avenger. Not the Avengers, just an Avenger. This movie's got a 7.5 on IMDb. Like I said, it does star Brandon Lee in his last role because of an accident on set. Honestly, took him way too soon. I remember being obsessed with this movie when I was like getting into my emo days because a friend was like, "You need to watch this. It's so good. It's so dark. It's so gritty." So I did watch it. I enjoyed it a lot. Then rewatching it in the past like couple years wasn't
Not so great.
wasn't really for me anymore. I think I outgrew this kind of art style and this kind of dark, depressing era. But it does have a 7.5 on IMDb, so it's got some cred.
It's got some street cred for sure. And I'll stop trying to paraphrase because that's where I mess up on the reading. But
Juan make words in brain too many time.
The Crow is a supernatural superhero comic book series created by James O'Barr, revolving around the titular character of the same name.
You know what's funny? You just said another name of a person who's going to be at Tucson Comic Con.
James O'Barr?
James O'Barr. Tucson Comic Con, August 29th through the 31st.
2025. The series, which was originally created by O'Barr as a means of dealing with the death of his fiancée at the hands of a drunk driver.
Yeah, it's a dark story, like, altogether.
Published by Caliber Comics in 1989.
1989.
And
I don't know
it
why
seemed
we gasped
very
at that.
seemed very, graphic novel, like just as gritty as the movie, just as emo, as you would say.
I think emo is not a good word. It's more gothic.
Gothic, that's the word.
Yeah, more gothic. I just know when I was starting to get away from like what my parents liked and getting into more of what I wanted to get into, this was like one of those turning moments where I started watching more rated R movies, things like that. So I liked the movie back then. It's not a bad movie at all. The character is cool, but I just don't think it's my kind of tone anymore. It's like not my cup of tea.
Right. Or cup of Joe. It's not my Dr. Pepper Zero, if you will.
Yeah. Speaking of Dr. Pepper Zero and Joe and tea and all that stuff, I think we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be right back with the rest of our list. And we're back. It was like no time had passed, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's get back into our list. Are you ready? Because the next one on the list is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah, it's in my top 10.
I knew this.
You knew this. We're talking about 2010's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Whoop, whoop. So yeah, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. We saw this movie, I think you went every single time we did, right? Like 6 times in the theater.
I don't think I did.
I know me and our buddy Eric went at least 6 times.
I did not see this movie, I'm pretty sure, until it was out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, this movie.
Before you get into it, this is one of those movies that I did not watch. We didn't hang out as often around this time because
it was in 2010.
I changed schools.
Yeah,
I graduated from another school, and then you were too cool for school, and then I was like...
I think, honestly, it was just because we went to different schools. But I'm pretty sure this came out after we graduated. But anyways.
But I also was, like, kind of confused why you like this movie so much.
Yeah, August 13th. It was the same month we graduated.
Until I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
August 13th, huh?
Yeah, it was right around when we graduated.
So yeah, we kind of like...
It was summer.
Yeah, we kind of like we're like still talking, but like not really...
I think we had just started working the same job, like,
that
or
was
about
in 2011.
Was it? Anyways, we're that's not what the show is about today.
I remember all these things.
But yeah, I loved this movie because I had already been a fan of Edgar Wright, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead at this point in time was one. It was the last movie I rented at Blockbuster before Blockbuster went. Mm-hmm. And I was just so like into this style of his directing and his storytelling and the comedic timing. And I had no idea what Scott Pilgrim was. All I knew is this is Edgar Wright's next movie. And our friend Eric was super hyped on this movie. And I remember going to see it at the midnight premiere, and the theater was empty.
Really?
Like, there was not a lot of people there. It was the same night Expendables came out, like one of the Expendables movies. And there was more people for that movie than there was for Scott Pilgrim.
Really?
But I do remember us going to the theater every single week to see Scott Pilgrim because there was nothing else coming out at the time. And we loved it so much. I have seen this movie 7 times in theaters all together since it's come out. And I feel like if it comes back to theaters, I'm not going to go again because 7 times for each of the Evil X's.
Nice.
Yeah, right?
On purpose or not on purpose?
On purpose. And the last time I saw it was during its anniversary where it played at the Loft Theater.
Huh.
So it was a super small independent thing. Tons of fun.
Cool.
Still have my ticket stub just because 7th time. You know what I mean?
Why not? Yeah.
But yeah, if you don't know what Scott Pilgrim is about, it's a young man must defeat his new girlfriend's 7 evil exes who are willing to do anything to prevent her happiness with someone else. Michael Cera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Kieran Culkin, Anna Kendrick. This one's got a stacked
Chris Evans
cast. Aubrey Plaza, Allison Pill, Jason Schwartzman. Chris Evans. Come on.
Chris friggin' Evans?
This movie's got a 7.5 on IMDb, which everyone says it's a great adaptation of the source material. The comic by Brian Lee O'Malley.
We're not there yet, but okay.
But yeah, after the movie came out, I was super hyped, and I remember I bought I got the box set of all the graphic novels so I could keep up, and I realized it's way different, but I didn't care. Also, I brought those with me on our trip to Disneyland, which we have posted photos of on our Instagram.
Really?
Because we went to Disneyland in 2010.
I don't remember you bringing them, but...
Yeah, I brought 2 of them because I didn't want to read them all at once, and then I was pissed because I finished the first 2 on the drive to California. Anyways, getting about the graphic novel series.
The graphic novel of Scott Pilgrim is a series of graphic novels by Canadian author and comic book artist Brian Lee O'Malley.
Nailed it.
The original edition of the series consists of 6 digest-size black and white volumes released between August of 2004 and July of 2010.
Yeah, so I know that the last book was being written the same time the movie was, so they had to make up an ending for the movie that did not coincide with the ending of the book.
I see.
Yeah, so they have different endings, but most people liked the movie endings better than the book's endings. Anyways, I love both equally, and I just love Edgar Wright. I think he makes great films, so this one was easy to put on a list of top 10 movies for me.
Sure, yeah. I do like the fact that it is so different and quirky, and like the comic book is almost like a video game illustration type of art style.
Yeah.
And the fact that they turned it into a live action and made it work well, can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to see you can see the stills from the graphic novel in the movie almost. You know what I mean? Like, he was so good about trying to stay close to the source material. And I just really appreciated that.
And it could be Edgar Wright too, but I think it worked phenomenally well with, like the quick action, the quick cuts, the panning back and forth, his style of the sound effects, and like all the the things that made it more fun and made it fast paced, just made it a lot easier to watch, especially for people who don't know Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. And like I said, this movie didn't do well in theaters, unfortunately, but it became like a cult classic on DVD and Blu-ray. I think I have a movie poster from the theater that I saw, or at least one of the theaters here in town. I have a poster of Scott Pilgrim still to this day, hung up, framed on my wall. So, But you know what's different than 7 Evil X's?
300 soldiers?
Yeah, exactly. How'd you know? Because the next one on our list is 300 from 2006. In the ancient battle, King Leonidas and 300 Spartans fight
Read it
against...
like the guy who narrates the movie.
I don't remember how he sounds.
In the ancient battle of
Thermopylae.
Thermopylae and 300.
King Leonidas and 300 Spartans fight against Xerxes and his massive Persian army. 7.6 on IMDb. This movie, pretty sure, introduced a lot of us to Gerard Butler, especially guys, because I feel like he was doing like rom-coms around this time, really. But this movie, Zack Snyder directed. That's where we got... That's why DC looks the way it does until Superman, just saying. Dark, gritty, blah, blah, blah. It's because of this movie.
Well, this movie was so successful when it came out.
But it also matched the tone of the graphic novels it's based
so
on.
Zack Snyder, he made this movie. Did he? I'm sure he made movies before this, right? But were they that dark and that gritty?
I'd have to pull it up, but you can keep talking if you want.
I can tell you about the 300 comic book.
Yeah, if you want to. I'm trying to think. He did Dawn of the Dead in 2004, the remake, right? Mm-hmm. And before then, it was like little things, like nothing too crazy, honestly.
So this kind of like pushed him into the director that he is today, right?
Yeah.
Other than Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
I want to say that still wasn't like the style, like the way it looks, the way it feels is still not the same.
It's kind of
dark and gritty.
It's more like the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
But I feel like, like when he did the Justice League, he tried to make it
look like 300.
300.
Yeah.
And it's like...
with the slow-mo action shots and the sparks instead of blood and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and the movie worked well. And so did other movies that, are on this list, like Watchmen, he did right after this, where they were true to the source material, but is that what we wanted for our mainline superheroes? At the time, it was the cool thing, right?
At the time, it was all we had for those specific heroes.
Right.
And that's all we had and the best that we had at that time. So it was like, as a DC fan, it's like, all right, am I going to watch Man of Steel or am I going to watch Superman Returns? I'm going to watch Man of Steel. Definitely a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Not Superman, sorry.
Right.
But yeah, so it's like I looked forward to all those DC movies coming out just as a fan, but it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
Enough about Zack Snyder, though. 300 is a 1998 comic book limited series written and illustrated by Frank Miller, with painted colors by Lynn Varley. And it was published by Dark Horse Comics. Again.
Dark Horse.
Only 5 issues of 300.
Yeah, it was a limited run. Told the story from start to finish that it needed to tell, and that's what we got as a movie. I remember seeing 300 in theaters, and it was one of those movies where I said, I want to make movies for a living.
And the thing about the comic is, like, it's dark, and like the tone of the colors is dark, but it's still colorful. Right,
and a lot of that color though comes from the blood and the effects like that, right? But the movie, I think, did the source material justice, honestly. So yeah, should we get into a little bit more colorful, a little more crazy, a little more funny?
Colorful, funny, wonky, glunky.
Those are words to describe this movie from 2010. So this one came out in April of 2010, and I do remember loving this idea and seeing this movie. I had just turned 18. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
2010?
Yeah.
Not sure.
I have math. But I remember going to see this movie in the theater. This movie introduced us specifically, maybe most of us, to Aaron Taylor Johnson when he was super skinny and scrawny, nerdy as heck. He's still nerdy as heck, but now he's big beefy
beefcake.
This movie's kick-ass. We're talking about kick-ass. Dave is an unnoticed high school student and comic book fan who one day decides to become a superhero, even though he has no powers, training, or meaningful resources. The only thing he does have is he can't feel pain after getting stabbed after he becomes a superhero.
Nerve damage.
He's got tons of nerve damage.
Yeah.
This one's got Aaron Taylor Johnson, Nicolas Cage, Chloe Grace Moretz, tons of people in this movie. It's got a 7.6. Reviewers say that it's bold, ambitious. It's got a unique blend of action, comedy, and drama. And it's praised for its originality, strong performance, and stylish direction. Directed by Matthew Vaughn.
I will say that I personally am very intrigued by a storyline that makes you feel like it's real life.
Yeah.
So, like, thinking of real life superheroes, people going out there and actually trying to be the comic book or the movie that they've seen, right? That fascinates me. And for some reason, this movie did it perfectly.
Yeah.
And
I think it feels real to an extent, and then it heightens it all up with like the main villain. He seems like a comic book villain, but also seems like someone that could actually exist in this world. I love...
But they also have those aspects of the people saying, like, you're not a superhero.
Right.
Take that costume off.
Yeah.
And like throwing stuff at him and beating him up because he's
just a
being
guy.
a dork.
Yeah, he's just a guy.
Yeah.
Just a kid. But yeah, I really like this movie. I think it still holds up to this day. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And it's definitely rated R, so it's not for children. It's bloody, it's gory, it's full of bad language. Chloe Grace Moretz is the most foul-mouthed little girl I've ever seen in my life. Oh,
yeah.
But she does a great job. And I was sad that the sequel just didn't hold up whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because I know there was probably more story there, but unfortunately we're never going to get it in live action. So.
And I mean, they had the team up and they had like the inspiration of creating like a Justice League type of group, Avengers type of group, and it just was a little too...
It fell flat like the guy who jumps off the building at the beginning of the movie.
Flat.
With a splat.
But the comic book is Kick-Ass, originally published as simply Kick-Ass, and as Hit Girl for the book too.
Yeah.
Creator-owned comic book series written by Mark Miller and illustrated by John Romita Jr. This was interesting. The first installment of the Kick-Ass franchise was initially published by Marvel Comics under the company's Icon imprint and republished under Image Comics.
So I feel like it just might have not done so hot when it first released, and they re-released it, and it did better. At least not with like any kind of association with Marvel. Marvel's not really known for these like bloody, gory, very rated R type of deals. So yeah, I think the movie's awesome. It's fun to watch, and Matthew Vaughn did great.
I actually have a fun little tidbit about this comic book.
Oh yeah?
When we get to our next movie/comic book.
Oh, it's funny because I also think it's fun that the next one on our list was also a movie directed by Matthew Vaughn.
Huh?
What? This movie, though, from 2014, with a 7.7 on IMDb, so we're almost to the tippy top of our list here. Kingsman: The Secret Service. When this movie came out, man, I watched it so many times.
Yes.
Like, there's only been a handful of movies where I've watched it once a day for like 3 days straight. This is one of them where I was like, I watched it alone. I was like, I need to bring someone to see this. And then again, I had to bring someone else to see this. The only other time that happened was Mad Max Fury Road.
Really?
Where I watched that movie 4 times in one weekend with different people each time and loved it each time. This movie, I don't get bored of it ever. I think the action sequences are sick. I think the humor and the, like, it wants to parody, like, the spy genre, but it does it so well that, I don't know, that barn, the church scene. Oh my God, that still stands out. I think is one of the best shot, like, in all time. You know what I mean? Sam Jackson as a villain, so funny,
so weird and quirky, and still works.
And it does work. And the fact that this has had 2 more movies afterwards. The sequel for me kind of fell flat. Didn't hit as hard as the first one did. But then The King's Man, have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
So good. It almost, for me, is almost better than the first Kingsman movie, but I don't know. There's something about it. But the synopsis is a spy organization recruits a promising street kid into the agency's training program while a global threat emerges from a twisted tech genius. 7.7. Yeah, this is what you want from an action movie. Honestly, if you're looking for a good rated R action flick, this is the one to put on. So
going back to Kick-Ass, a crossover Big Game was published from July to November of 2023 following a now mid-20s Mindy as she teams up with the Kingsman agent Eggsy Unwin against Wesley Gibson while Dave is granted superpowers by the Magic Order.
Yeah, Kick-Ass gets weird.
Yeah. Don't know what that means, but she teams up with Eggsy. And that
Eggy? is... No, I was just kidding. That's just a joke from the...
Oh, right. I was like, what? Eggy? Did I read that wrong? But Kingsman is an American comic book series that debuted in 2012 with the first graphic novel subtitled The Secret Service. 2012, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
The movie came out like 2 years after it. You know?
Yeah.
It's just fun.
But yeah, they're still making comics on Kingsman, and there's that crossover series was only just a couple of years ago in 2023.
Maybe we'll see something from it in the future. Well, live action.
Yeah.
But the King's Man going back to World War I, just insane. Just insane.
Yeah, just like the expansion of the lore and the story.
Yeah, and it's not afraid to like joke and make crazy villains. I don't know. I think the series is great. The second one might not hit as much as the first one or the third one, but it still has its moments.
Well, it went
a little over the top.
I still like thinking about, like, oh, well, the first one was based in London, right? But then it's like, there's got to be more.
Yeah.
That's what the second one does. They bring in the Americans. They got French. They got all these other countries that have a Secret Service.
Yeah.
And my only issue was the villain of that story was way over the top and a little
unbelievable.
But you know what? It's still fun. It's still a fun movie.
Yeah.
And like you said, the third one is just chef's kiss.
So good. But let's talk about our final movie of the list. From 2005. This one has an 8 on IMDb. And that's Sin City. Sin City is an exploration of the dark and miserable Basin City and 3 of its residents, all of whom are caught up in violent corruption. This movie was directed by Frank Miller, written by Frank Miller, and reviewers say that Sin City is acclaimed for its groundbreaking visual style, faithful comic adaptation, and stellar ensemble cast. The film's black and white palette with vibrant color accent is lauded as revolutionary. But critics point to excessive violence, misogyny, and shallow character arcs. Some find the film's emphasis on style over substance and repetitive narrative structure to be flaws. Despite the issues, many celebrate its innovative comic-to-screen translation and genre influence. This right here set off everything when it comes to like the art style that we saw in the late 2000s, early 2010s, with its crazy color scheme of black and white with those punchy, like bright colors. I feel like the style of this movie really influenced the direction DC took, and Marvel shied away from it a bit. But I do see where like the stranglehold with this like muted color palette and gray tones and sepia and all that stuff like really came from, I feel like, from this and like its influence in 300 and things like that. So I've seen this movie probably twice.
I've seen it a couple times.
I don't think it's an 8 for me.
I didn't understand it.
Yeah, like
when
the
we
first
were
time.
younger.
Yeah, right.
I was like,
What is this about?
it's boring.
But I do remember us making a lot of things black and white with one color still in there. So it did stuff back then, but to me, I wouldn't put it as an 8. It wouldn't be the top of my list. But it's the top of this list.
Right.
So tell us about the comic it's based on.
The comic. Sin City is a series of neo-noir comics by American comic book writer, artist Frank Miller.
Also directed the movie.
Also directed by Frank Miller.
My bad.
The first story originally appeared in Dark Horse Presents 5th Anniversary Special, April 1991. And continued in Dark Horse Presents 51 to 62 from May of 1991 to June of 1992 under the title of Sin City. Serialized in the 13 parts. Period.
Period. So yeah, I think not being a mainstream comic book like produced thing, like it wasn't DC, it wasn't Marvel, it kind of slipped under the radar for me. I didn't read these as a kid. They're really dark, really gritty, gory kind of looks into this Sin City.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't something on my radar, and it's like you said with the movie especially, it was like I don't really get it.
Here's the thing though, as a kid, you go to Bookman's, you go to a comic book store.
Bookman's, for all you people not from Tucson, is like a pawn store for books and movies and mostly books and movies and comic books and video games.
Sorry.
A secondhand store.
Sorry. You go to Bookman's, you go to a comic book store, you go to Barnes & Noble, you see all these comic books, graphic novels. You're looking for Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, Marvel, DC.
It's the other ones.
Right. You're looking for that. So you're not really aware about how many comic books are out there.
Right.
Now, as an adult, I'm like, comic books, obviously, I'm still like Marvel, DC, but then I'm start browsing around, and there's so many different styles of comic books, graphic novels. One's about love, one's about...
Dude, I have a graphic novel. Well, it's not like a manga of Ocarina of Time.
Really?
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I have all of the Scott Pilgrim books. I think I have a bunch of Calvin and Hobbes we mentioned at the top of the show.
There's shout out. So there's like so many different kinds of comic. There's comic books out there for everybody.
Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob and Archie just crossed over.
Yeah.
I want that one.
Get it.
I'm gonna.
All right.
But yeah, there's more to the world of comic books than
Marvel and DC.
Captain America and Batman. Okay, there's more than Iron Man and Superman. There's more than Spider-Man. And there's more than those.
Black Cat.
Black Cat. Which one?
All of them.
But there's more to comic books, and especially comic book movies. There's probably room for more, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I feel like, I don't know if it's like, I think they should advertise more as like based on the comics or whatever, because I think
it could get more people reading comics.
Could kind of draw some attention to the comic books.
Yeah, but I bet you a bunch of people didn't know that Riverdale's based on Archie comics. But I can promise you that we don't need any more edgy teen dramas based on comic books like Archie. And also, don't make any more Garfield movies. We don't need it.
I haven't seen I haven't seen any since what was that one? 2006
Tale
or
of Two
7?
Kitties?
Something.
The one with Bill Murray as Garfield?
Yes.
Sick. But I also just really want to watch Kick-Ass now.
Let's go watch it.
Let's do it. But let's outro the show real fast, Juan.
Do it.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of BJ in the Morning. If you haven't already, please go down into the little info box either above or below wherever you're listening or viewing this episode. Leave a comment, leave a review. 5 stars, please. It would really help us get out there to other people.
Yes.
Go check us out on social media. We're on Instagram and TikTok at
BJ in the Morning underscore.
We're also on YouTube if you want to watch us talk about these and see the faces we make when we forget how to read mid-sentence on YouTube at
BJ in the Morning Podcast,
where you can also subscribe, comment, and join in on the conversation. We've had a lot of people commenting lately, and we really appreciate it. Shout out to Music Lopez, again, leaving sick comments. We're going to keep shouting you out. If you comment on anything, any platform, we're going to shout you out. And if you ask us cool questions in those, we're going to answer them right here on the podcast.
And if you give us any episode ideas, we
write those into a list, and hopefully we'll make them one day. But thank you again for listening to this week's episode of BJ in the Morning. I'm Brendan.
And I'm Juan.
And
we'll talk to you next time.